السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Shalom Aleichem l'chol Am Yisrael. This video is in dedication to the 3 kidnapped boys whose bodies were recently found. And in response to this, I want to get something off my chest that I've wanted to say for a long time. And that is to those who have no heart for the innocent and who take advantage of the sufferings of their own people to justify their own twisted, demented, psychotic actions by murdering innocent civilians, their own people, and people of other countries. It's easy to point the finger to your enemies, those who you've made your enemies, when your own people are suffering. But when the whole world sees that these same people, those same organizations that sponsored the murdering of these 3 Israeli boys, when the whole world sees that among your own people throughout the Middle East, there are Muslims killing Muslims. There are Sunnis killing even Sunnis. It's not just Israel against the Arabs and Arabs against Israel. When we see that civilians, young men, women, and children, non-combatant, are butchered, and it's all over the internet for everybody to see, do you think a reasonable person will believe that when it comes to Jews, you're going to be any better? You're going to be any more just? It's a joke. You're a joke and a shame to your religion. You claim you do these acts in the name of Allah, but you're profaning the name of the God of Abraham. You are a curse to your children and a shame to the mother who bore you. It's easy to say that Israel is racist, but one look at the faces of these 3 young men will show you the deception in that claim. The fact that I, someone without any connection to Jewish ancestry, was given equal rights as an Israeli citizen, no different from Israeli Arabs, who have full equal rights and even serve in the Israeli parliament, even serve as judge in the Israeli high court, able to sentence a Jewish president to imprisonment, as has been done recently. Something that would never occur with a Jew in a parliament in the Muslim world. You expect me or anyone who's enlightened to believe this nonsense? Yeah. Israeli Arabs have difficulties and need to fight for extra rights in a societal sense, not so much from the government, but from the society. No different from how African Americans are still struggling in the United States, despite the fact that technically it's already illegal to discriminate based on race. But to point the finger at Israel when you compare the behavior of all the Muslim countries around us, when you compare even how Palestinians treat other Palestinians in those areas where Palestinian leadership has been given more sovereignty, only an idiot would believe these things, or someone who's so blinded by his own emotional sympathy for some personal event. I don't know these 3 boys. It's not personal to me, other than the fact that I see what's going on as an objective individual. It's very easy when you have a son who was killed as a part of a terrorist plot or fighting. He gets killed and then you as the mother or brother feel pain. That's normal. But that doesn't justify indiscriminate killing of a whole people. It's possible to be reasonable with reasonable people. You see, when they kidnapped these 3 boys, we could all say they're just fighting for their own freedom. Since when does killing civilians equate to fighting for freedom? Oh, but all Israelis are drafted into the Israeli military. Therefore, you can kill Israelis indiscriminately? Are you twisted? Are you... Words can't describe the stupidity of this nonsense. Do you know what percentage of Israelis who are drafted actually engage in combat? And we're talking about people who are not engaged in combat. You don't kill a non-combatant person because he was drafted at some point or may be drafted. What kind of justification is that? And we're talking about being drafted into an army that warns those areas that they're about to attack, that they should evacuate before the attack, by sending mass text messages to all cell phones in the area and dropping flyers. When was the last time that Hamas or any other Palestinian terrorist organization gave warnings to the innocent Israelis on buses before they blew them up? Men, women, and children, infants, all together. But the Israelis are a bunch of European invaders. That explains why Jews of the Middle East, from Iraq and Yemen and Egypt and Syria, were slaughtered no different, both in this occurrence of kidnapping and murder and in every occurrence of Palestinian terrorist attacks. It's time to stop with the pathetic excuses and face up to the fact that the biggest problem of the Palestinians in the Arab world is not the West, is not Israel. It's their own backward thinking, their own lack of respect for their own children, their own people, and their lack of respect and lack of knowledge for their own religion. This isn't the behavior of humans. This is the behavior of animals. You're not animals. Stop acting like it. Shalom uvracha.